Right. Cool. By the way, I think at the end of the game I'm gonna have you hit the button.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'll wait for it.
Yeah. Okay.
You got this.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not fail the jump at the beginning at the.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is Mega Man 10, and it starts off with Pump Man stage. Pretty rough stage actually for compared to the rest of the game. It's a lot of very tight jumps. It's a fun stage to play. Typically, the reason behind going to Pump Man first, there's several different things. You know, the usual things where you don't really require too many weapons to go through the stage fast. The boss can be killed reasonably fast with the Buster, and pretty much every stage after this, very nice. Has really useful applications for the water shield. There's actually a couple of different routes in a few of the stages. Most of them are clearly faster than the other. This bottom route is marginally faster. If you had Rush Jet and some other things, the top route is going to be much faster. But down here, it's the main mechanic is just these strange water currents and these bubble machines. The bubble machines are on this awkward global timer there, so by having slowed down a little bit, he would have gotten trapped in there. Picking up the energy tank because it's pretty typical to take a lot of damage against the Pump Man fight.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to use it in the Pump Man fight. Looking at my health right now.
Yeah, it took like an extra hit or so.
Yeah. My hand is really shaky right now. Kinda screwed up the bubble room.
Just mash until the shakes go away. So everything in this fight does consistent 4 damage to you, so it's very predictable that it could take 1 hit. On normal mode, when Pump Man brings out his water shield, there's 8 of these water pellets, and they each have 2 HP. So I guess it would be possible to actually mash through his shield, but very nice.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just glad I survived. It was a really terrible fight, but I can deal with it, I guess.
So because it's so like hard to get his shield has so much HP, it's typical to take damage and just run inside Pump Man's shield and just attack him from the inside. Or if you have like perfect positioning, you can just stand Mega Man right next to him and stick your Buster right through the shield and shoot him. So the whole fight's kind of a combination of all that stuff just based on the opportunity you have. One of the compromises in this route is that you're doing Solar Man stage before Nitro. If you had Wheel Cutter, this stage is sped up by a good amount. But overall, this route is still much more solid for RTA. And if you watch the task, they'll start with Commando first, and there's a few things that make that more viable. But in real time, it's still nobody thinks it's the way to go. It's actually possible to go through the whole section without stopping, until the flower, of course.
I have a little weird position with my legs, so. All right, I guess.
The birds are a big piece of the RNG in this game. If they're really nice, they'll just go down one at a time very quickly, and you'll kill them. I don't know what the time variance is, but I would probably say on the order of like 10 seconds based on 5 to 10 seconds from best to worst patterns. And the bird mini bosses have 20 HP each. The water pellets do 2 damage. So by a full water shield into them is full 16 damage. Lots of damage. Solar Man goes down real quick to the water shield just because the pellets just keep coming out, and you can hit him like 4 times with one water shield.
Yeah. There's one another thing that can happen with the water shield, being that he has a sun on his head. So if you hit the sun with the bubbles, he doesn't take damage, but the bubbles still get removed.
Very nice. And he tries to end every Robot Master fight as close to the middle of the screen as possible. It's a pretty common slight optimization in Mega Man games, just so Mega Man doesn't have to walk as far, of course. I find Solo Man kind of interesting. He's one of the few enemies that does 5 damage to you on contact and on his projectiles.
I'm learning new things today.
Solar Blaze will be put right to work in this stage and in the boss fight. The first tricky part of this stage is getting all of these, falling through the next section really quickly. The kind of gimmick here is there's these destructible ice blocks. They crack once if you land on them or shoot them, and on the second crack they break. Very nice. I'll go ahead and explain it now so we can watch out for it in the boss fight, but this is pretty much the most technical thing in the game, is fighting Chill Man. What you can do is, in Mega Man 10, as opposed to many of the games maybe the previous games in the series, is that you can fast weapon switch with the L and R buttons, just like in like Mega Man 8, for example. But when you fast weapon switch in this one, it removes all of the projectiles of the previous weapon from the screen, which is good because Solar Blaze typically pierces enemies and walls, and you can only have one out on the screen at a time, and it takes a while to shoot the next one. So to defeat this boss fast, you'll shoot Solar Blazes and switch back and forth to a different weapon and back to Solar Blaze to cancel it out, to shoot the boss again before his invulnerability period is up. So it's real quick, L, R, shoot, L, R, shoot, L, R, shoot, L, R, shoot. See how nice Chill Man is, though.
Yeah, usually when you get frozen by Chill Man, it usually snowballs into a disaster.
Yeah.
So I somehow managed to at least somewhat salvage it.
And it was a good recovery. It is really hard to come back.
Taking it a bit easy on the stage select screen to make sure I don't pick the wrong stage.
Okay.
Is this Mega Man 10 song? I thought it was Wily 1.
Yeah, this stage I think was in the demo or in a trailer. In the trailer, along with the song. It was Minami Matsume that composed this track. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is.
From the Mega Man. She composed a lot of Mega Man 1 tracks, I believe.
Yeah, I think Mega Man 1.
The whole soundtrack, actually. And works with Inti Creates and other classic game or retro game developers in modern times. It's a pretty laid back stage. It's not too tough.
Yeah.
So he's listening for the horn sound as an audio cue for when to shoot the chill spikes. Is that right? Is that what you use? Okay. It gives you just enough time to react, and you don't want to accidentally freeze the trucks, because then you have to jump over them. Oh,
I missed him twice.
And you can't. I guess you canceled one of them or something.
Yeah.
Or it was slightly early.
The first one was slightly early, and then I canceled the second one.
This is one of the RNG bosses. He's not very happy. Die.
Yeah, that was okay, I guess. It wasn't absolutely terrible. But it can go a lot quicker than that.
And he could have gone into the throwing things twice in a row. Yeah, like ideally, Ajarmar starts off just by zooming back and forth on his bike and does it several times and gives you enough time to hit him twice per pass. But if he ends up going into a different pattern, what's kind of cool is you can actually freeze him with the chill spike, and it forces him to, doesn't necessarily force him to switch patterns, it gives him a chance of changing patterns.
Here's an important trick.
For Robot Masters, you get Rush Jet in this game. This route is also chosen such that these last 4 stages are basically, a lot of time is saved with Rush Jet in those stages. The old Pharaoh Man throwback stage, I guess. Another alternate route. Top route is significantly faster with the sandstorm that moves with you. On the bottom route, the sandstorm moves against you, and it's clearly much faster this way. Oh yeah, that's swag. Rush Jet really comes in handy. You can float above the slow sandstorm.
Charles to used pizza. He struggles with that jet jump.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I tried to teach it to him, but he refused to learn it, and then I tried to improvise it during his runs.
And a man has an interesting quirk where he loses invulnerability frames when he jumps. So let's see if we get some lucky hits on him. Oh, that was good though.
Yeah, I almost got him like perfectly because he gave me the perfect pattern. I'm not a very good matcher, to be honest, but I've done it a few times at least.
The only strategy really is to shoot one, prime another one, and jump and mash and hope for the best.
Yeah, because he takes 7 hits to die, and as you might have noticed, I got 2 hits on him before he did the second jump, so I needed 5 hits on him in the second jump. And 5 is a lot, so it's difficult.
Ah, nice, I like that strat. The wheel cutter coming in handy a lot in some of these stages. Blade Man's a really fun stage to play. One of its gimmick is these kind of seesaw platforms, but they're way too slow. Tri-Castle mini-boss.
I deployed the second one too late. I tried to shoot it too early. So it didn't.
Good coiling.
Thank you. Gotta do something during the
Oh yeah.
downtime.
Nothing else to do. Oh yeah, it's getting that perfectly timed solo blade shots is kind of tough. You gotta take out the spider. As useful as Blade Man's weapon is, you can see why we don't go to this stage first, because we need that Rush Jet. Good luck on the double hits. Oh, there's one. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. He stayed to the right side. He didn't zoom down to the bottom.
I, I think you can manipulate Blademan, but I don't know how it works, really. So I just kind of go for it. And you can get double hits on him, but they're just kind of specific pixel positions that aren't very clear. And it's like all the spots where you can get double hits aren't necessarily right next to each other. So it's essentially just random.
The bomb could explode far away from him or close to him, and it may or may not get a double hit.
Yeah. Speaking of dumb things, here is dumb things on stage.
Sportsman. So clever strategy there to avoid having to slow down in the first screen. So speaking of pixel perfect, like kind of inconsistent positions for Commando Bomb to score double hits, there's a consistent way to enter that mini boss room such that when you just fire a Commando Bomb and hold up, you can get double hits, allowing you to kill the boss really fast.
Yeah.
A little trickier to do that in the next one. There's actually 2 of those mini bosses you fight. So if that's the case, Ajarmar will switch to Triple Blade to finish him off.
I think this is good.
Okay. These lockers, when they pop out, they're on kind of a level timer. Their permutation is based on the time that you started the level rather than the time that you enter the room, like a lot of other spawning enemies. One of the few examples of that in this game. Good Strike Man stage.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, it's a really annoying stage because pretty much every room has something stupid that can slow you down a lot.
Triple Blade does a lot of damage to pretty much everything. In fact, you can use it, if you spam it against bosses, you can score a bunch of double hits. Oh man. Still, it was a great stage.
Yeah.
I always like to point out how Strike Man stage has no instant death hazards. It's like one of the few places in the game that's the case. It's just packed with crazy enemy placement to make it difficult.
This is a pretty nice stage, I think.
Yeah, I think it's really fun. It's got good music. Interesting mechanics with these disappearing like kind of block groupings. And just like I talked about the global timer for the lockers on the previous stage, there's a similar global timer for disappearing blocks, classic Mega Man style disappearing blocks that are in this stage. It kind of gives you a sort of a frame rule for this level that's passed by at the later part of the stage. Oh yeah. Here's the Octobulb, another lovely mini boss. Yet again, we're going for really crazy timed Commando Bomb shots. Very nice. It's actually it's consistent, but it's really tricky to figure out, and it's really easy to mess up. You need the bomb to explode just as the boss's hitbox spawns, so that if the bomb itself collides with an enemy, it only does 1 damage and disappears. The explosion is what actually deals the damage. Okay, let's see where those blocks are at. You barely missed it. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, you might not see 1 block, like maybe, but I don't. Nope, no block. Oh, this rush jet like plummet, like drop strat. Oh, that's great. This looks so cool. Heatman's kind of annoying, another RNG-based boss, but Ajarmar has a nice setup to kind of guarantee that he kills him as fast as he can if he goes for a bad pattern. They're very nice. Got him before he jumped again.
Yeah, that was a good pattern. And I could have actually, I threw a rebound striker that kind of just bounced around the room. That's because I timed it a bit wrongly. I wanted it optimally to hit him, but it's a really tricky timing and I only rarely get it.
Each time the rebound striker bounces off a wall, it increases the damage that it does. Rebound striker isn't really used against too many regular enemies, but it's definitely very significant in the bosses that it's weak against. So what's kind of cool about the RNG in this game, and for several other games, is so the very first boss of this stage, it's random whether or not, like which boss appears. There's 3 different bosses that appear. But if you reach the boss door in the same frame every time, it's going to be the same boss that appears, with some other variants based on like which enemies you destroy. So as long as you kill the same number of enemies and get to the boss door at the same time every time, which is easy, it's like 3 screens like in length. Black Man's going to show up and you can be ready for him. Good Archive 1. This is Mega Man 10 song.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
It's not the best song in the game, but it's Mega Man 10 song.
Yeah. That's what people call it. But this is a great stage. It's cool. It's how it's broken up into kind of 2 major sections there with the beginning intro and the rest of the stage. And it's also got a total of like 4 different pathways you can take. And in this case, it's one obviously faster path. So speedrunners never see the other paths. And the gimmick here is that there's these 3 different bosses that you fight, and each having 3 Mega Man like throwback bosses from the classic series. Previous 9 games. That was very nice. Killing Napalm Man in only 2 hits by bouncing the rebound striker off of 2 walls twice.
Very nice strat.
That was very smooth. Using full jumps to kind of have a consistent timing to pass through the platforms fast.
I just
Nice
saved
drop.
30 frames.
Okay, so I guess we can talk about frames. Like in a lot of other Mega Man games, in the Wily stages, your weapon energy persists between each stage. So managing your weapon energy is really important. For the longest time, the route in this game required the use of at least 1 M tank, just because the weapons are so useful in making it through the stages quickly. But you go through the boss refights where you have to pretty much use every one of the weapons once again. The 1 hit. Really finicky with that double damage there, but great save.
Time to...
Literally everything else was like perfect, so.
Yeah, it was good. I hope I won't die in the next stage.
Good luck. This is my Mega Man 10 song. This is another like global timer-based level, just like the lockers and the disappearing blocks. You have these big old crushers that appear in this stage in the next screen and then the second to last screen of the stage. So it's important to consistently do the beginning section so that you get the optimal cycle on these stoppers, or at least that you're aware of them so you don't get crushed if you just plan on holding right. The stage also throws a few different mini bosses at you. Back there were Suzak and Phoenix the birds, and we got Octobulb back once again. Same thing, just waiting for a visual and audio cue to when to shoot the commando bomb. But back to frames, we're picking up an tank. Even though everything's going to be refilled later, it saves a little bit of time to pick up weapon energy. Very nice jump. Hardest jump in the game, that's a joke. Hardest easy jump. Okay. Ended up on a good cycle of the stoppers. Great stage.
Well, I wouldn't.
Other than that end part.
I'm not gonna be negative here, because honestly I'm just
You're alive.
happy I'm
You're
alive.
alive.
Yeah, I'm really happy I'm alive.
Mr. Crab Puncher.
Great guy.
So he's either gonna sit there and die, or he's gonna make a shield. Oh, he's that's the shield. Ooh, quick recovery.
Okay, so the next stage is really easy. So, well, I shouldn't say that, but compared to the previous stage, this next stage is kind of a nice break because it has two really long elevators that are around half a minute long each.
Essentially auto scrollers.
Yeah. I'm not doing coil yet, sorry. I've done it some in practice and it's not been going well, so I'm not even gonna try it. I'll settle for coil jet.
Practice some coil placements there. It's a little, Rush is a little strange. He'll only deploy onto a platform if the deployment occurs like within a certain vertical spacing of Mega Man's position. So if you want to place it on the spikes above you, you have to jump just as, oh, that's a nice coil jet right there still. You have to jump as soon as Rush gets roughly to that position, or else you'll pass right through the platform. These shrimp are really annoying, but hopefully you don't have to worry about them too much.
Do what?
No. And that's already passed anyways.
Yeah.
So we're using up almost all the Rush Jet energy right there. Remember, you have a little left for the next screen. Do you do that?
No, I don't do that.
Yeah,
Stress.
okay.
The only person I've seen do it is Claret. I don't really know if it's worth it if you don't skip the M-tank.
I always thought it was hard to tell, yeah. Nice. Oh, whoa, that's so low!
I kind of wanted to go for the holding right all the way, but I've literally never done it before, so...
I've never seen it that low before. Yeah, nice coil into wheel cutter to enter the exit door like as soon as you're able to, instead of waiting for the elevator. It's a block double. This boss kind of sucks.
Yeah, you have to wait for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, you just dodge all this stuff, wait until he's vulnerable, and bounce a whole bunch of rebound strikers off the wall to hit him early and take him out instantly.
Pretty good. So although I mentioned that, well, I didn't mention it, but Wily 2 was the hardest stage in the game because it's very likely to die. Wily 4 is by far the most important stage in the game because it's the boss rush, and the bosses in this game have a lot of variance to them, both because of RNG and because of execution.
Switching to Solar Blaze since that's one of the most demanding weapons in the next section here, but he'll be using a M-Tank after the second refight here. So, Nitro Man round 2, come on guy, give us something good. And he's number 2, okay. Alright. Actually getting 2 shots per pass like that, it's actually quite precise.
Yeah.
Ooh, godlike Shieldman fight. One of my favorite videos on YouTube is 10 hours of Mega Man weapon energy refilling.
Yeah. I think that video is from Mega Man 5.
Mega Man 5.
Yeah.
Oh, easy with a couple double hits too.
And a rare pattern that he does that. I don't see that very often.
Oh, nice.
He gave me the best pattern again. That's actually a lot more rare than it probably seems.
And just doing a full jump while mashing can be really difficult. Wow, come on, Pump. Yeah, this time we actually have Pump Man's weakness, and it's the worst weapon in the game, of course, Thunderwool. And you still kind of have to hope Pump Man jumps the correct amount of times so that you can actually hit him. Otherwise, Triple Blade's a nice backup for pretty much anything. It does 2 damage to any boss that isn't normally weak to Triple Blade when shooting point blank. That's cool. Got some revenge on Strike Man.
Yeah. Well, he gave me the easy pattern this time.
Open up the fight with 1 rebound striker shot to do 1 damage, and then 10 more shots, or 9 more shots of Solar Blaze to finish him off. Just like Shieldman has fast weapon switches, but in midair. Okay, nice machine. That's one of the more technical parts of the game right there, is jumping off a rush coil, and what do? Do you hit L and R and LL to switch to water shield, and switching back. You're just weapon switching like crazy.
And then we have this long, nice cutscene where I can do some deep breathing.
Over yet. Oh yeah, there's this crazy, there's a long manipulation to get the best pattern on the final boss. The final boss can vary by several seconds, but using the same sort of frame-based RNG stuff we talked about earlier, with a precise number of movements throughout the stage, and weapon usages, you can actually consistently move through the stage and manipulate the boss, but brushing up against the wall like that, now it's just back to who knows.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really unfortunate that I missed this, because it's, in my opinion, probably the coolest thing in this entire game. You go through the entire stage doing only actions that don't require frame-perfect inputs, but they give frame perfect results, so that you know which frame you enter the boss room on. And so you know that you will get the best pattern. And now I instead use the music cue, so I listened to the music and jumped on a certain note. But since the RNG changes every frame, it's a lot more random. Remember to hit the button. So I got a bad pattern here. This is terrible. Thank you.
That was excellent, excellent. Deathless.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I didn't die. Too bad about the manipulation in the final stage, but other than that, I'm really satisfied with the run.